Let me ask you something honestly. How many of you wake up tired, even after sleeping all night? Not tired in body, tired in the mind. The day hasn't even started, but the stress has already begun. Before brushing your teeth, you brush against worries. Before opening your eyes fully, you open old problems. And then we say, today was a bad day. No, the day was not bad. The mindset was unprepared. When you wake up in the morning, the world has not yet touched you. No opinions, no criticism, no problems, just you and your thoughts. And the truth is, the very first thought that enters your mind quietly decides the direction of your entire day. Think about it. If the first thought is, I am already tired, then even small tasks feel heavy. Even normal conversations feel irritating. The day hasn't done anything wrong, but the mind has already colored it gray. But if the first thought is, I'm grateful to be alive today, something beautiful happens inside. The same traffic feels tolerable. The same workload feels manageable, not because life changed, but because your steering wheel moved in the right direction. The mind is like a car. The road may have turns, speed breakers and traffic, but if the steering wheel is steady, you still reach your destination. Every morning, before the world grabs your attention, your mind asks you silently, where are we going today? And most of us answer without awareness. We answer with yesterday's stress, with old regrets, with future fears. So we start driving today's car using yesterday's map. That is why the day feels confusing. Understand this deeply. Your first thought is not just a thought, it is a command. When you wake up and immediately think about what is missing, the mind starts searching for problems all day. When you wake up and think about what is present, the mind starts finding solutions. Life will test you, people will trigger you, situations will challenge you. But if the direction is decided in the morning, the mind does not get lost easily. This is why wise people don't wake up in a hurry. They wake up with awareness. They don't ask, what do I have to fight today? They ask, how do I want to feel today? Because once the feeling is decided, the actions automatically follow. A negative morning thought multiplies through the day. A positive morning thought multiplies silently but powerfully. So before touching your phone, before touching your problems, touch your intention. Even one simple thought is enough. Today I choose calm. Today I choose patience. Today I choose effort over excuses. That one thought becomes the direction. And when the direction is right, even slow steps move you forward. The day doesn't defeat you. An undirected mind does. The moment you open your eyes in the morning, your mind is soft, open, unprotected. It is like wet cement. Whatever falls on it first leaves a mark. And yet, what do most of us touch first? Not our breath, not gratitude, not silence. We touch a screen before we even remember who we are. We start absorbing who everyone else is, what everyone else wants, what everyone else expects. Messages, notifications, news, missed calls, none of them are neutral. Each one carries emotion, pressure, comparison, urgency, and suddenly the mind that woke up peacefully is already running. You haven't even stood up from bed, but mentally you have attended 3 meetings, fought 1 argument, and worried about 5 things that haven't happened. That is not starting the day. That is surrendering the day. When you check your phone first, you are telling your mind, others will decide how I feel today. Someone's text can make you anxious. Someone's silence can make you insecure. Someone's success can make you doubt yourself. And the worst part, none of this was necessary. See, the phone is not the enemy, but timing is everything. Food eaten at the wrong time becomes harmful. Words spoken at the wrong time create damage, and information taken at the wrong time creates noise. Morning is not for information. Morning is for intention. If you allow the world to enter your mind before you do, you spend the rest of the day reacting, not living. That is why calm people protect their mornings. They wake up and first check their breath. They sit with silence for a few moments. They remind themselves, I am alive, I am here, I am enough. Only after grounding themselves do they step into the noise of the world. When you check your phone first thing, you inherit other people's emergencies. But when you check your mind first, you create your own stability. Just 5 minutes, no screen, no scrolling, no comparing. Sit on the edge of your bed, take a deep breath. Ask yourself one gentle question: how do I want to show up today? That one pause saves you hours of stress, because a distracted morning creates a scattered day, but a centered morning creates clarity. Even in chaos, the phone can wait, the world will still be there. But your peace, once lost in the morning, is very hard to recover at night. Most people think gratitude is something you do after life becomes good. They say, I will be grateful when my problems are solved. I will be happy when things improve. But life doesn't work like that. Gratitude is not the reward at the end of the journey. It is the fuel at the beginning. When you wake up in the morning, your mind immediately starts counting what is missing. More money, more respect, more clarity, more love. And without realizing it, you start the day feeling incomplete. Gratitude gently interrupts this habit. It reminds you, yes, something may be missing, but so much is still present. You are breathing without effort. Your heart is working without asking permission. You woke up, something many didn't get today. This is not philosophy. This is perspective. The moment you say a simple thank you in the morning, your mind shifts from scarcity to sufficiency, and a mind that feels sufficient does not beg for validation all day. It does not panic easily. It does not complain unnecessarily. Gratitude does not remove problems, but it reduces their weight. A heavy problem carried by a grateful mind feels lighter than a small problem carried by an ungrateful one. When you start the day without gratitude, even blessings feel normal, and normal things stop giving joy. But when you start the day with gratitude, even ordinary moments feel meaningful. A cup of tea becomes comfort. Sunlight becomes hope. Silence becomes peace. Gratitude is powerful because it trains the mind to look at what is working instead of what is broken, and whatever the mind looks for, it finds more of that. Look for problems, you will find them everywhere. Look for blessings, they quietly appear. This is why grateful people appear lucky, not because life favors them, but because their eyes are trained differently. You don't need long prayers. You don't need perfect words. Just one honest sentence is enough. Thank you for this day. Thank you for my breath. Thank you for the strength I still have. Say it before the day begins. Say it before the noise enters. Say it before the mind starts complaining. Because a grateful morning creates a graceful day. And when night comes, you don't collapse in exhaustion. You rest in contentment. Gratitude does not change life outside. It changes the life inside you. Every morning, without realizing it, we ask ourselves a question. And that question quietly decides how heavy or how hopeful the day will feel. Most people wake up and ask, what is wrong today? What problem will I face? What stress is waiting for me? The mind is very obedient. It doesn't argue. It simply starts searching for answers. So the whole day keeps pointing out what is irritating, what is missing, what is going against you, not because life is bad, but because the question was wrong. The quality of your life is deeply connected to the quality of your questions. When you ask the mind what is wrong, it becomes a detective of negativity. But when you gently change the question to what is still good in my life today, the same mind becomes a seeker of hope. Notice the shift. The situation outside hasn't changed. The traffic is still there. The workload is still there. The responsibilities are still there. But now, the mind is looking at life through a different lens. It starts noticing small mercies, supportive people, moments of relief, strength you didn't know you had. Asking better questions is not denial. It is direction. You are not pretending that problems don't exist. You are simply refusing to let them be the only thing that exists. When you wake up and ask, what is still good, you reclaim your emotional balance. You realize that even on difficult days, something is holding you together. Maybe your health is still there. Maybe your family is still there. Maybe your effort is still there. Maybe your faith is still there. And suddenly, the day feels less threatening. Wrong questions drain energy. Right questions create strength. This is why two people can wake up to the same situation and experience completely different days. One keeps asking, "Why is life so unfair to me?" And life feels heavier. The other asks, "What is this situation trying to teach me?" And life feels meaningful. The mind follows curiosity, so guide it wisely. In the morning before the world speaks to you, speak to your mind with compassion. Ask one simple, powerful question. What is still working in my favor today? Let the mind answer slowly. That answer becomes your anchor. And when challenges appear, and they will, you don't collapse emotionally because you started the day grounded in truth, not fear. A better question doesn't remove the storm. It teaches you how to stand in the rain. Most people think strength means moving fast, doing more, filling every minute of the day. But the mind doesn't become strong through speed, it becomes strong through stillness. The morning is the only time when the mind is naturally quiet, not because problems are gone, but because they haven't started speaking yet. And what we do in this delicate window decides how reactive or resilient we will be. When mornings are rushed, the mind goes into survival mode. It starts functioning from urgency, not wisdom. You hurry out of bed, you hurry through routine, you hurry into responsibilities, and then you wonder, why am I irritated all day? Why do small things disturb me? Because the mind never got a chance. Torev. A rushed morning teaches the mind one lesson. There is no time. Panic. A calm morning teaches a different lesson. I can handle this. This is why people who begin their day peacefully don't lose balance easily later. They still face pressure. They still face deadlines. They still face diff. I cult people. But the mind has already practiced calm. Just like muscles remember movement, the mind remembers its first state of the day. If it starts in chaos, it returns to chaos quickly. If it starts in calm, it returns to calm automatically. Calm does not mean doing nothing. Calm means doing things without inner noise. Even 5 silent minutes, sitting with your breath, drinking tea slowly, or simply looking at the morning light can create an inner buffer. That buffer protects you when stress tries to enter. A calm morning doesn't make you weak, it makes you unshakable. Reactive people are not bad people, they are tired people who never allowed their mind to rest. When you slow down in the morning, you are not wasting time. You are saving emotional energy. And emotional energy decides how well you speak, how wisely you respond, how gently you treat others and yourself. The world will still be demanding, life will still test you. But a mind that started the day in calm does not break under pressure. It bends, it breathes, it responds. Strength is not created in noise. Strength is born in silence. When you wake up in the morning, life is at its quietest. The problems that seem overwhelming during the day, deadlines, conflicts, bills, missed opportunities, have not yet gathered their full weight. They are small, manageable, almost invisible. Yet most of us wake up and immediately let the mind grab yesterday's baggage. We remember what went wrong. We predict what might go wrong. We multiply little problems into mountains before the day has even begun. This is the subtle trap. Problems only grow when the mind feeds them. In the morning, the mind is fresh, flexible, and open. It hasn't been battered by stress, criticism, or noise. If you approach problems now, they can be solved, handled, or even avoided entirely. But if you ignore the golden window, if you start the day distracted, angry, or worried, the same problem will feel twice as big by the afternoon and unbearable by night. This is why people who wake up early and face challenges calmly appear to handle life effortlessly. They are not luckier. They simply meet problems when they are still small. Think about it. A simple miscommunication in the morning can be resolved in 5 minutes. The same miscommunication in the afternoon can escalate into a full-blown argument. The difference is not the problem. It's the state of the mind. Morning is a natural reset button. The mind hasn't yet been polluted by fear, resentment, or comparison. Use this time wisely, and even the biggest challenges shrink into manageable steps. Another reason problems feel smaller in the morning is perspective. When you are well rested, your body has energy, your emotions are lighter, and your mind can think clearly. The same problem that seemed terrifying when you were tired suddenly looks solvable with fresh eyes. But the longer you wait, the more you postpone facing it, the more the mind inflates it. By evening, what was small has transformed into an imaginary giant, and we feel powerless against it. This is why discipline matters. Face your challenges first when they are small. Before they gain momentum, prioritize, organize, and act while the mind is alert. Even the most complicated problems can be dismantled in the morning, one small step at a time. The key is awareness. Notice your thoughts as soon as you wake up. Notice what problems you are carrying forward from yesterday. Decide what actually matters today. When the mind is trained to handle problems in the morning, life feels lighter, work becomes smoother, and relationships are calmer. Morning is not just the start of the day, it is the secret stage where life can be tamed before it even begins. The moment you understand this, you stop letting problems control you. You start controlling them, quietly, steadily, and effectively. Life's weight is not in the problem itself, but in the timing of your response. And the morning is always your first and most powerful opportunity. Every morning, you are faced with a silent choice. Before the world speaks, before notifications arrive, before the demands begin, your mind is open, empty, and ready. And in those quiet moments, you have the most powerful decision of the day. What attitude will you carry? Most people wake up and let circumstances decide it for them. A traffic jam makes them impatient. A rude message makes them angry. A missed opportunity makes them bitter. They didn't choose these emotions, the world imposed them. But there is another way, a wiser way. If you decide your attitude first, before the world whispers its judgments, you are no longer a passenger in your own life. You become the driver. Think about it. The same traffic can irritate one person and teach patience to another. The same criticism can break one person and guide another toward growth. The difference is who chose the attitude before the event happened. When you wake up and ask yourself, how do I want to feel today? You are giving your mind a direction. You are placing a shield around your heart. You are telling life, you will not dictate how I respond. I will decide first. Choosing your attitude is not about pretending. It's not about ignoring reality. It is about controlling what is controllable. You cannot control other people. You cannot control unexpected events. You cannot control the world's chaos. But you can control your response, and that starts with attitude. When you practice this in the morning, you build resilience, you create a buffer between yourself and stress. You prevent small irritations from growing into full-blown emotional storms. This is why successful, peaceful people rarely seem shaken. They have trained their mind to choose before being forced. They decide calm before chaos. They decide patience before provocation. They decide clarity before confusion, and this choice compounds over time. A day started with awareness becomes a week of mindful responses. A week of mindful responses becomes a month of steady progress. A month of steady progress becomes a life of controlled, deliberate living. So do not wait for life to teach you patience, strength, or courage. Choose these qualities first thing in the morning. Decide your attitude. Decide your mood. Decide your approach to challenges. Because if you don't, the world will do it for you, and it will rarely choose something gentle. Your attitude is not just a feeling, it is a daily decision. It is the foundation of how you will act, think, and live today. When you master this choice, you no longer chase happiness. You create it. You no longer react to life. You respond to it thoughtfully. And that is the power of deciding your attitude before the world decides it for you. Every morning, most people believe they need a complete plan. They think they must recite 10 affirmations, visualize the perfect day, meditate for an hour, and prepare themselves mentally for every possible challenge. They think success comes from doing everything right. But here's the truth. Your mind does not need 10 intentions. It does not need a perfect morning ritual. It only needs one clear, conscious intention. Think about it, when you wake up, your mind is like soft clay. You can mold it in any direction, but if you overwhelm it with too many instructions, it becomes confused. It doesn't remember 10 things, it remembers nothing. But when you give it one clear thought, one powerful instruction, it carries that with it all day long. That one intention might be as simple as, today I will respond, not react, or today I will act with patience, no matter what happens, or even, today I will focus on what I can control and release what I cannot. That single intention is enough. It is like planting a seed in fertile soil. You don't need to plant 100 seeds to get one tree. One seed, carefully chosen, nurtured and protected, grows into something strong and life-giving. Your intention works the same way. If it is strong, clear and purposeful, it guides every decision, every conversation and every thought throughout the day. Most people underestimate the power of one thought. They think the world is controlled by events outside them. But the truth is, the quality of one thought can shape your experience more than 100 circumstances. When you set a single intention in the morning, it acts like a filter. Challenges still come, stress still appears, difficult people still test your patience. But now you have a lens through which to see everything. I will respond, not react. I will act, not complain. I will focus on solutions, not problems. That lens transforms small frustrations into lessons, mistakes into growth, and ordinary moments into opportunities. Your one intention does not need to be dramatic. It does not need to be perfect. It simply needs to be remembered. Write it down, say it aloud, repeat it in your mind. And then watch how this one thought quietly shapes your entire day. It reduces noise, it creates clarity, it strengthens your focus, it turns ordinary mornings into extraordinary days. Remember, the mind follows direction. If it has one strong, clear, positive direction, it will move steadily even when storms arise. So do not overcomplicate your morning. Do not wait for perfect circumstances, perfect motivation, or perfect energy. Choose one intention, plant it firmly, carry it silently, and let it guide you through the day. Because sometimes one thought is enough to change everything. Discipline is often misunderstood. Most people think discipline is about forcing yourself to wake up early, exercise, or follow a rigid routine. They think it is about resisting temptation, controlling every desire, or pushing through every difficulty with sheer willpower. But morning discipline is different. It is not punishment. It is preparation. It is the act of training your mind before the world demands it of you. When you wake up and practice discipline, you are not just checking tasks off a list. You are setting the foundation for how your mind will function the entire day. Think about it this way: your mind is like a ship. If the rudder is weak, even a small wave can push it off course. If the rudder is strong, even a storm cannot steer it away from its path. Morning discipline is that rudder. It is in those first moments before the noise of the world that you decide whether your mind will be guided by clarity or chaos. This is why the small, consistent actions matter more than grand gestures. Drinking water, stretching, breathing consciously, setting your intention. These seem minor, almost trivial, but over time they teach your mind one powerful lesson: I am in control. Success is not about talent, it is not about luck, it is about showing up every day and preparing your mind to face life. When your mind is disciplined in the morning, even difficulties that appear later do not shake you easily. Your emotional balance is stronger, your decisions are clearer, your energy is steady. Without morning discipline, the opposite happens. The day starts reactively. Your mind drifts toward distractions, complaints, and impulsive reactions. You spend energy putting out fires instead of creating progress. Small problems feel huge, and your capacity to focus diminishes. Discipline in the morning is also about awareness. It is about consciously choosing what to let in and what to leave out. It is about refusing to surrender your mind to noise, gossip, or unnecessary worry. The most successful people in the world are not extraordinary because of innate talent. They are extraordinary because they consistently practice inner discipline. especially in the first hours of the day. When you wake up, you are in the driver's seat of your mind. Do you allow chaos to take the wheel, or do you guide it with gentle, consistent discipline? Morning discipline is the quiet repetition of small choices: to breathe deeply instead of panicking, to focus instead of scrolling, to be present instead of lost in yesterday or tomorrow. And over weeks, months, and years, this discipline compounds. It becomes a mental muscle, a mental habit, a mental shield. You begin to notice your decisions become smarter, your relationships calmer, your emotions steadier. In truth, success is not a single achievement. It is the daily preparation of the mind. It is the discipline to start every day intentionally, even when you don't feel like it, even when the world is noisy, even when excuses appear tempting. Discipline is freedom. It is freedom from chaos, from distraction, from emotional turbulence. And morning discipline is the key that unlocks this freedom. The moment you understand this, you stop treating mornings as something to survive. You start treating them as sacred, as the stage on which you prepare your mind to meet life with strength, clarity, and wisdom. Because the mind you train in the morning is the mind that carries you gracefully through the day. And that is the real power of discipline. Life has a rhythm, whether we notice it or not. Every day is a series of moments strung together, and the way we begin the day often determines how the rest of it unfolds. Most people treat the morning carelessly. They wake up, rush through their routine, check their phone, drink coffee, and run straight into the demands of life. And then, by evening, they feel drained, frustrated, or overwhelmed. But there is another way, a way that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. It begins with a simple realization. If you win the morning, you win the day. Winning the morning does not mean completing tasks or achieving productivity immediately. It means setting the tone, aligning your mind, and preparing yourself emotionally, mentally, and physically to handle whatever the day brings. When you take the time in the first hours after waking to center yourself, your problems shrink. Small irritations no longer feel catastrophic. Big challenges appear solvable rather than overwhelming. Your energy flows where it is needed, and your mind becomes a clear, focused instrument rather than a stormy ocean. Imagine a day where you wake up and intentionally choose your first thoughts. You choose calm over anxiety, attitude over complaint, patience over irritation, clarity over confusion. Suddenly, you are not reacting to life, you are steering it. The power of winning the morning lies in control over your inner state. Life will always throw challenges, delays, and surprises at you. The day may be unpredictable, but your response does not have to be. Starting the day with intention gives you a buffer against stress. When a crisis arises, your mind doesn't panic, it evaluates. When someone provokes you, your heart doesn't react automatically, it chooses. When you face setbacks, you respond with creativity rather than frustration. This is why people who are considered successful or wise are often calm and composed. They have learned to respect the first moments of the day. They have discovered that the morning mindset shapes their decisions, their relationships, their productivity, and even their happiness. Winning the morning also builds momentum. Small actions taken early, drinking water, moving your body, reflecting, setting an intention, create a cascade of positive energy. Each action reinforces another. Each thought shapes the next. By mid-morning, the day that could have felt chaotic is now flowing smoothly because the foundation was laid while the world was still quiet. Another secret is that winning the morning trains resilience. Difficult days will come, as they always do. But if you start strong, your ability to endure, adapt, and thrive increases. Your morning practice becomes the anchor in the storm. It is important to remember that winning the morning is not about perfection. It's about consistency. Even if you wake up tired, distracted, or anxious, taking a few moments to center yourself, breathe, and set your intention can make a profound difference. Think of the morning as a seed. What you plant in those first hours grows and expands into every interaction, every decision, every feeling throughout the day. If you plant chaos, stress, and worry, that is what blooms. If you plant clarity, calm, and intention, that is what flourishes. So make a commitment to yourself. Do not let the morning pass by unnoticed. Do not allow life to dictate your mindset. Take control, even in the quietest, simplest ways. Because when you win the morning, you are no longer a passive participant in life. You are the architect of your day. And a day that begins with purpose almost always ends with fulfillment, growth, and peace. The day will always bring challenges, surprises, and unexpected turns. But a mind that has been prepared in the morning stands steady, clear, and strong. Winning the morning is not just a habit, it is a way of life. It is a silent practice that transforms ordinary days into meaningful ones and ultimately transforms ordinary life into something extraordinary. Your mornings are sacred. Protect them, shape them, and in doing so, you will shape the life you wish to live.